Hey guys, welcome to 20 Pictures, a slideshow show here on the CKCC Video YouTube channel. Just ignored the whole CKCC Radio startup picture there. I haven't updated the logo yet. We just rebranded the video. But I'm Chris O'Mealy, the host, and joining me, you know him. He's my co-host from the Nerd Table. He's been doing real-time reviews with us. Occasionally we do Park Hopper when we have the time. His name is Eric Flores. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great, man. How are you? How are things?
I can't complain, can't complain. So, are you familiar with the concept of this show?
No, I am not.
You know what? That makes it so much better. That makes it so much better. Okay, so here at 20 Pictures, a slideshow show. What I do, I kind of ripped this idea off of something the WWE Network was doing, where they would sit a wrestler down and then show them like a slideshow of their career, and they would just react to the pictures of it. So what I started doing was I came up with like themed ideas for slideshows, and I'd get a guest on and just show them the pictures, and I get your real-time reactions to them. Pretty much it. And there's going to be 20 photos in the slideshow. Everything is themed to a topic, so you have no idea what I'm going to show you, do you?
No, not
that makes it. Well, let's put it this way: we're not going to get banned on YouTube, so I'm not showing you anything pornographic.
Okay.
But what I've done is I've gone and I've selected 20 pictures that represent things that happened but in a Disney park, and sort of catered it to stuff that might be related to things that you did when you worked there.
Oh, God. Okay.
So you get to react to a whole slideshow related to Disney, and you get to react to, well, I guess you're going to find out, aren't you, bud?
Yep,
so
sure
what I'm
am.
going to do is I'm going to full screen this here on my second monitor, so excuse me looking to the side here, folks, so Eric can see it. All right, bud. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go to each picture. You can kind of just react to what you see and then maybe talk about what it means to you or whatever. Ready for the first one? Here we go.
Let's do this. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Some of all thrills.
Mm-hmm.
Someone taking a picture where they shouldn't be. That's for sure.
Fucking
now
way out there. You don't know that.
Oh, I do. Look where the fucking platform is. Oh. Look where that shit is. There's no way you're getting that. Like, unless... No, even if you're zoomed in, I don't think you would get... Yeah. Wow. That brings back some fucking memories. Look at that fucking queue line. That was busy season for sure. This is taking place on Platform B.
It's sad that you know that, by the way.
Is it?
It really is. Like, that you just know exactly where this is happening.
Yeah. Platform B, that's the third Robo.
Oh my god. Okay.
And off to your right, you can see our pre-show line.
I mean, the thing is, I don't think you're wrong. That's what's funny about this. Like, yeah.
It's just because... Well, here's how I know, right? Because off in the distance, you can also see another set of Robos.
Correct.
And we didn't have mirrors in there.
Correct.
Because we didn't want to see how sad we looked working. So you're either on one of the other two platforms, but you can see the way it curves that that's not a possibility that it could be anything other than B. So this is someone hanging out, probably. Oh, I guess if you lean forward, right? If you take your arms and you're like all the way out there like this and you like snap pictures, you can probably get that.
Now, I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say that this is a promotional photo. So they probably had permission to be wherever they were.
Yeah, or they just placed the fucking camera there.
Or maybe
you think that's a promotional photo? I think that's too many people down there for it to be a promotional photo.
I don't know. I just Googled pictures, so.
Okay.
But this is a significant ride because this is how we met.
Yeah, it is.
And this is how we became best friends. See, I have like a handful of best friends now. I have Dan, who's kind of like my business partner with the whole CKCC thing. So he's kind of like my best friend, but he's kind of like an online friend. Then I have like my best friend from high school that I still talk to, but don't see him that often because he lives in Jersey. And now I have I'm in the process of forming a new best friendship with a coworker who I really adore. And then there's you. But you live too damn far away, so.
I do live too damn far away.
So, yeah. But yes, this is important because this is how we met, and then we became best friends as a result. How many times did you and I break this thing in question? And
more than I remember. It's like every day at least. Every day.
you know, the best part is this is only the first picture, and there's still 19 more to go. I wanted to kick you off with a bang. That's all.
Yep, that was great.
Are you ready for the next photo?
Mm.
I probably don't want you to do a spit take
right.
on your computer, so let's wait. Okay.
Let's do it. Let's go. What's the next one? Ooh, rock and roller coaster. So this brings back. This is the first attraction that I started working at. Before this, I did like a 1 month thing in monorails, but I didn't like it, so I left. I didn't have anything open.
Picture you as a monorail driver. That would have been, with how much I know that you like to break technology, that would have just been bad.
Right? So I left for a little bit, waited the 90 days or 6 months or whatever it was, and then when I came back, they actually had an opening in attractions, because all they had available when I told them I didn't like the whole monorail thing, I didn't want to be in transportation, was like, well, we don't have anything in operations. We have food and beverage. And I was like, fuck that. I do not want to do food at a theme park.
I don't want to do food in general.
Yeah. And, well, unless you're a server, because they make bank. But, yeah. So I came back, and that's where I started off at. Yeah.
Good memories, though, right?
Good memories. Good memories.
That's also a really fun ride. That's another thing. Like, I love that ride. It's an indoor roller coaster. It plays music. It's got all the cool neon lights. And it doesn't do that much, right? It's like 2 loops and 1 corkscrew, pretty much, right?
Yeah, you go upside down 3 times.
Yeah, right
There's
in the beginning.
The initial launch. There's a second loop and then a corkscrew.
Right.
So, yeah.
By the way, I love the acting job that Steven Tyler does in the pre-show. Wait a minute. I love that idea.
The shocker.
The shocker. Yeah.
That, I feel like I think they finally took that out. I don't know why. It's been there for years.
Do you remember when it was rumored that this was going to turn into a Jonas Brothers themed roller coaster?
Oh man, it's been rumored for everything. It was that. It was Hannah Montana.
I know.
It was just a bunch of stuff, and I don't know if they could change it to anything other than like
another rock
I would
and roll
love to
band.
see them do a Marvel theme for this. If they were going to change it for anything, turn this into some sort of like I don't know. I really
Avengers, just an Avenger coaster.
Yeah, I mean they got the Tower of Terror, right? So
well, they turned that into Guardians in Hollywood, but
yeah,
I don't think there's any plans to get rid of our Tower of Terror. I
so
say our Tower of Terror because, you know, Walt Disney World is our park.
Right. I think they'd have to keep that because they can't change the outside because you would be able to see it. Yeah, like it would not blend in very well.
No, not at all. All right, so that another trip down memory lane. Here comes your next photo.
Okay. Oh no! Why'd you do this to me? Oh, I hate you.
No, you don't. You love me. Heart
Man,
buddy.
Great
Heart
movie
buddy.
ride. This is the last attraction I worked at. The very last before going into maintenance. And this was probably by far my favorite location. Like the ride itself was great. It's a classic moving ride.
I literally don't think I've ever heard one person say they didn't like working at Great Movie Ride. I've never heard that. I'm sure there are. I'm sure somebody hated it, but everybody seemed to come out of that with such great memories. And I know that some of our friends that worked there, Hannah and Stephanie, Katie, all got over there, which was funny because I remember Katie telling me for the longest time she could never work a spieling attraction, and then there she was.
She was good too.
I bet she was. I always knew she would be.
Katie, it was just one of those
Katie,
things,
we heart
man.
you. We heart you, Katie.
It was very like everybody treated everybody like family.
Yeah.
Now, that's good and bad because sometimes you get pissed off at your family. But,
Never.
it
That
was
never happens.
it was awesome. And I think we all bonded over the when they changed it to the what's it called? When we got the new script, right? Because it wasn't always presented by TCM, I don't think. But whenever we got the new script, we all had to stay there and practice overnight while riding the vehicles because it's not just learning the lines, it's delivering the lines in the amount of time that it would take to get from one section to another.
Right, it's timing.
Right.
It's a timing thing.
It's all timing. It's all timing and making it sound natural. So we needed to do that, but we also needed to keep the attraction open throughout the day. So we had to do it at night when the parks closed, and that was rough.
Well, like when I worked at Stormstruck at Interventions, that was all spieling too. And once you hit the button, the video went till it was done, which means you had to hit your marks, you had to say your parts, and if you didn't, guess what?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that brings back some really, really good memories and sad ones because it's gone.
Aww.
No longer exist. I mean, neither does some of All Thrills, but we kind of knew that was going.
Some of All Thrills is just special to me because not only did I meet some of my closest friends I ever made there, but I think I got an echo on your end, by the way. I hear myself twice.
Okay, well, hold on. I have headphones.
It's YouTube, guys. There's no editing here. We do not edit. Just listen to my echo, 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 echo.
Okay, no, you should not have an
No,
echo anymore.
I do not hear an echo anymore. Listen to my echo. Yeah, spieling attractions are fun, though. Well, I did Safari, but Safari wasn't really... There wasn't a lot of timing. There were pucks that you would hit to have interactions with Wilson, but that wasn't really necessarily a timing thing. That was more or less can you steer your car and hit the sensor thing, and then he would just come on the radio and you would have a line to deliver to you. I think there was like one thing where he would ask you a question and you had to deliver something before the second part, but I never missed a beat on that, so... All right, great movie ride. Next photo.
Fantasyland.
Say that with a little more venom in your voice. I don't think I heard enough venom come out.
Fantasyland. How dare you?
You notice how I'm doing this? Like, I built you up so I could bring you down. You see that I'm doing this, right?
I see that, yes. I'm actually nervous about the other pictures.
Now don't be.
Now... Fantasyland was rough for me. I went through my, for the lack of a better term, I went through my Playboy phase in Fantasyland. And that didn't go over well for a lot of the people who knew me there, including Katie, because she hated me while I was work there. But to be fair, the heat, working out in the heat outside, just in direct sunlight, will make anybody fucking miserable. Anybody.
I think Fantasyland in general made a lot of people miserable because I know a lot of people who worked there, and while they always had great stories, everybody's pretty much in agreement that once they left, they were so much happier.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those places, like, when you leave, you didn't know how fucking stressed out you were because of that area.
Right, because you come to something like Interventions, and you're like, this is so chill.
Oh, yeah.
Interventions was a little too chill. I'm not going to say anybody's specific names, but some people fell asleep on stage.
I mean, yeah. It was gotten to, like, when you go from that many people an hour, because PhilharMagic, I think, was the highest, right? No. I'm sorry. No. Small World was the highest capacity per hour.
Because that makes sense. How many people fit in a Small World boat anyway?
I can't remember.
Okay.
It's like...
Well, Philhar
5
was
to 6. It's whatever you can fit in a row, right? Because there's no set amount.
It's one of those. Yeah, okay. Okay. So
So you could
some
really pump
families
it.
crammed in there.
Yeah, and then it depends on how many boats you had going through. So you can get a lot of people through and barely have a wait time for at least Small World. Peter Pan, no, you're not doing shit in Peter Pan.
Well, Peter
You feel
Pan will
like,
also break down half the time.
well, yeah, well, it's not even that it breaks down, right? Because if you're riding the ride, you would think, oh, it's down again, but it's not. It's just we have to slow it down or stop it to assist other people to get on the ride.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Some
Hmm.
people need extra assistance to get on
Some
and
people need
off,
a lot of
and
assistance
and
to get
and
on and
that's
off
fine.
these rides.
Yes. So yeah, but Fantasyland was the fucking worst. It was just the worst experience because it's the land of strollers. It's the one place in the park that literally has more strollers there than the stroller rental place.
Because it's Magic Kingdom, the most family-based park out of all of them,
Yep.
and has
I
the
lost.
most for the littlest kids, right?
Yeah, I lost video.
You don't
My
see.
No, my monitor shut off. It's not you. This is on my end. This is fucking
Your
awesome.
monitor went to sleep. Well, hi, Eric. I'm still here. There's no edits. This is YouTube. No edits. You guys are getting live video as we record this. We don't edit. There's no editing here.
What is happening?
You were so done with Fantasyland, you decided to just let your monitor go to sleep.
Did my G Sync just okay, there it goes.
That's how
I
done
think
with
it's just switched
Fantasyland
off.
you were. You let it go.
Yeah. I let it go
All
into
right.
frozen. All right.
Enough with Fantasyland. Let's go to another
Enough of
picture.
Fantasyland. Next. Oh man. Peter Pan. What can I say? We're still in Fantasyland. Yeah. Fuck. Fuck this ride. It is not that good. If you ever see this thing and it's more than 10 minutes, move on. Please. Just move on. You are not missing out on anything. It's a good ride. It's not worth the wait time that it has. Period.
Well said. Next photo.
Oh,
Sorry, I had
all
to
right.
do that. You know I had to do that.
Okay. All right. Um, why the fast pass entrance?
We're going to Fast Pass.
Okay.
Disney Fast Pass. And
Disney fast
how
pass.
annoying it could be at times.
We helped roll that out. Do you remember that? We
I
were
do.
um so before it became like mainly on your device, it still had a combination of physical tickets and device, and we were part of that team that helped people use the technology
Helped.
to
Helped.
get, yeah. And again, a lot of fun because it happened at Epcot,
Of
but I couldn't
course.
imagine doing that anywhere else.
Because it would have failed everywhere else.
Yeah.
Epcot's a
Oh
good
yeah.
like experimental park. And keep jiggling that mouse so your monitor doesn't go to sleep on
I
Fantasyland
know,
again.
right?
Yeah, so Fast Pass, to me, the Fast Pass system was always kind of flawed. Like, I get what the purpose of it was, but I always felt like, in a lot of ways, it just made their line way longer.
It really did. To be perfectly honest, there are rides out there that the line is they only even have a line because of Fast Pass.
Yes.
They would even like if Fast Pass didn't exist for certain attractions, they would never have a line. You would maybe 5 minutes. Like if you miss
Spaceship
one
Earth.
show, you would be on the next one. Spaceship Earth is a prime example of that.
Spaceship Earth, every time we used to go to the parks, just to, like, go in and play around, Spaceship Earth would have, like, a 5-minute wait. We'd always hop on it. Once Fast Pass Plus got introduced, it was
30-minute wait instantly.
always 15 plus, and we'd always have to wait in that. And not every ride needed it. Like the Nemo attraction didn't need it, but it
If
got
it's a
it.
people, yeah, I feel like if it's a people mover, it doesn't need it.
All right, I'm gonna insult the mouse stands here for a second. Universal did it better because yes, you had to pay for it, but that express line always moved, and no line ever got longer because of express.
That's because the ratios were better.
Right,
The-
because they only sold X amount, and when they were done, they were done.
yeah.
That's how it worked. I've always said Universal System was better. And I've paid for the Express Pass, and I never regretted it. Because when they tell you you won't wait more than 15 minutes, that's true. For Fast Pass, all it does is shorten the wait time.
Yep.
That's
They
all
try
it
to
does.
keep it 15 minutes,
They try, but it's not.
but they can't. Can't
All right.
guarantee it.
I got this for you. Your favorite thing in the world.
Fucking height sticks. Fucking hate height sticks. Do I have to share this story again?
Oh, you're telling the story. You're telling the story.
I get a call. I'm coordinating, by the way, at Some of All Thrills, and I get a call saying that there's a kid out there that is too short, but he made it through, and the parents said that he made it at the entrance height stick, that he made it there. And we have this rule, just like all of our height sticks are the same exact height.
Right.
Right. And so if he didn't make it there, he's not going to make it at the front. And I'm just like, okay, to appease the parents, I went, all right, if the kid, if he makes it at the front, then I'll come back and he can ride. So I take this kid and I go over and he hits his head because he fucking made it at the front. And I'm just like, son of a bitch. Out loud. I said, son of a bitch.
In front of the kid.
Right. And I brought him back and I'm just like, well, he is good.
It was still
And
purple
got to
card,
ride.
right?
It was still a purple card.
Yeah, he wasn't tall enough on some to go upside down because we had 2 height checks there, but he could still ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, height checks are the worst thing in the world, and they're there for the safety of your kid, and nothing pisses off a cast member more than you arguing with them about your kid's safety. And that's like the one thing I always appreciated about safety rules at Disney. That was like one thing that no manager could ever override us on if they thought we were being too much of a stickler or whatever. Because I won't even say the name of the ride that I was working at. But I did one of my first attractions I ever worked at. I had a manager actually walk a family right past me at Fast Pass. They came like 2 hours early for their Fast Pass and were complaining because I wouldn't let them in, and she decided to override me and escort them in, and they gave me like a dirty look and everything, and well, I transferred out of that ride, long story short. But yeah, this was one of those things where like, your kid's too short, there's nothing we can do. Like, I know they've got the policy where we can give you the little pass to come back, and when you're older, you can come back and give us the ticket, and it's basically an automatic express kind of thing. But yeah, no, we don't compromise on safety, thankfully, because I've had parents try to bribe me, and I've had parents offer to sign waivers, and
You know what's worse than height sticks at an attraction?
I have a feeling I know what you're gonna say, but say it anyway.
Having 2 height sticks at the same fucking attraction.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say having the body check on the thing.
Oh, on the harness?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I'd rather check kids' heights all day than ever deal with that again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if I prepared that for the slideshow, but if it comes up, we'll talk about it. I can't remember. I made this a while ago, so I don't remember exactly what's in it, which is fun for me, too.
Oh. Okay. Damn. All right. So, for people who don't know, there are tunnels underneath the Magic Kingdom, and this is one of those tunnels. And I don't believe I've ever seen a character walk along that particular path.
I almost wonder if that's a staged photo.
It's got to be a staged photo. It has to be.
I've been down there before. I never worked at Magic Kingdom, but I've been down there before because, like, you know, when you have your pass and everything, your employee pass, you could just walk down there and walk through.
Yeah,
You're
and
technically
just
not supposed to, but
oh no, that you
everybody
need to
did it.
though, because if you didn't, you'd get lost.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
You'd never be
like-
found again.
Like I can't stress how you would think this would be so linear, and it's really not, and that's the issue, actually.
It's wild how crazy it gets, because you would think straight tube and then maybe a circle or something like that, right? Like,
Maybe.
so it would always loop around. No, not this one. This one is a fucking maze that belongs in a Zelda castle, and it's got different levels to it.
So who's the boss of the dungeon? Is it Mickey?
The fucking no, it's the boss that's at the end of this fucking tunnel.
Yeah,
Getting to the Mouseketeria, I think what it's called.
Mouseketeria, yeah. Very clever naming, by the way.
Yeah.
Gotta love the
Off
Disney
to the
naming.
left, you can see the pipes and stuff. Those silver pipes actually contain trash and stuff like that, and it shoots it to like a generalized area. So this was like, it was really cool, man. Just being there and kind of just like experiencing all that and learning all that stuff.
Well, the cool thing I always thought was it was designed specifically so characters couldn't intermingle in other areas. So like a Tomorrowland character couldn't just show up in Fantasyland or Adventureland or whatever. Like that way you could get to your area and not really be seen. Which I actually like. I know Epcot technically did have something like that, but it was so much longer to walk around that way.
Well,
whereas
it wasn't really designed for the characters. It was designed for just normal cast members, because they didn't want you wearing a costume that wasn't designed for your land in a different land.
Right, but at Epcot they didn't care. So
yeah, Epcot didn't care because it was all,
and studios didn't care because the theme of studios was that you were on a working movie studio anyway.
Right.
So, but Magic Kingdom, they're really good at preserving the magic. What's funny about the Utilitunnels is like, or the Utilidor, or whatever it's called, is like everybody acts like it's this big kept secret, but because of the internet and stuff that people just know about Disney, like it literally is the worst kept secret at this point because so many people know it's there. So we're not actually giving away any secrets by showing off this tunnel.
No.
Like there are tons of articles, and I don't think any of them are technically associated with Disney, but like everything from Snopes to Park Blog and all that other crap have all mentioned it. So
what surprised me is that Mickey's walking it. I'm like, it just like that caught me off guard. I was expecting like a parade of like cast members carrying him down, just walking him to his next location like a emperor of some sort,
like
but,
lifting him up on his shoulder with a big throne. And
exactly, he's like, I own everything.
Boy, you give a lot of, no cast member's gonna do that. Well, I'm sure. Actually, never mind. I knew a couple of desperate ones who wanted to get ahead. So
the mountains.
Yes, sir.
One of these mountains is broken. And I give you a hint. It's not at the Magic Kingdom. Yeah. What is your favorite mountain?
That's a really good question. I think, honestly, it's probably still Thunder, because I loved Thunder as a kid, and I still love Thunder as an adult. So I think it has to be Thunder. I think Everest overall is the most fun ride, but A, it's broken all the time, and B, ever since they turned the Yeti off, it just doesn't have the same impact anymore.
Yeah. Everest is like that new model sports car that has the new like chip and everything in it, and it's got the bells and whistles.
So it's like a fancy Tesla, but it's so automatic that when one thing goes wrong, everything goes wrong.
Right. You know, if like the check engine light comes on, it's done. It's done for the.
You're
Meanwhile, Thunder Mountain, Splash Mountain, and like Space Mountain is all like gravity fed. It's like an old carburetor. Like, there's no fucking check engine. It's there. It's doing its thing. You're gonna make it through. Like, it may be rough. You don't have power windows. There's no air conditioning.
You still got to do roll the window down and manually.
It's still fun. Yeah.
That was my first car. My first car had that.
I think my favorite mountain is probably Space Mountain, and it's just because air conditioning.
That's crucial in Central Florida, by the way.
Yeah,
Uh,
Splash Mountain, I would be like, okay, it's fun. I like it. Don't get me wrong. It was incredibly racist. And then you would get cooled off by the water sometimes, like if you got the mist, but then you remember what's in that water and you're just like, oh fuck. And then
theme
you're
park
kind of
water. Don't touch theme park water.
don't touch park
Don't
water.
touch park water. Just don't do it. Um, I like Space Mountain, but I feel like Space Mountain breaks the most out of all of them.
Out of even Everest?
Yeah. I feel like Space is always down for something. But Thunder to me is still the best. I love Thunder.
I
I'll
do
take
like
Thunder.
Thunder.
I'll take Thunder any day.
Okay.
Real quick before we move on, what do you make of the Princess and the Frog overhaul for Splash Mountain?
I have not seen it.
No, I mean just like the idea of it. Like
the idea of it.
I love the idea.
Brilliant.
Because I love that movie.
Yeah. I think I let's be real, right? Song of the South is kind of at this point irrelevant.
Well, Song of the South was never really widely released in America. You know,
right.
you're lucky if you could get a VHS copy of it. And everybody always said, oh, it was racist and everything. The only thing racist was the Tar Baby segment. If you cut that out, and because I think everybody always blamed the uncle, right? But he wasn't. There was nothing racist about him. He was just a Southern gentleman. Just happened to be black and he was telling a story. But I never saw that as being racist. You cut that little cartoon out, you keep the rest of it in. But if you've ever seen Song of the South, it's actually really boring. The only good thing about it is Zippity Doodah.
And it's irrelevant. You it's
completely irrelevant.
Like you said, it's not out anywhere. And it's not like Disney wants it to be known that it's out. So putting in the Princess and the Frog,
yeah, more relevant,
makes more sense.
And why did they always live and die by these characters? Why was Brer Bear in like every parade? People don't know who that is. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done ranting about the mountains. Another photo.
You don't really know, though. Oh my god, Disney Quest. Oh man, what can I say about Disney Quest except they had a not so good version of Sum of All Thrills in there.
A horrible version of Sum of All Thrills.
Yeah. Good arcade though. And then they changed it like 3 or 4 times since we've been there.
I know.
Like literally within the course of like 4 years. Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure what the fuck it is now. They changed it into an NBA place.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then they changed it to...
Maybe I'm misremembering what it actually was. But I thought that's where the bowling alley ended up. I might be wrong.
No, I think the bowling alley is a little closer to the actual theater.
My big thing with Disney Quest was like they had their little gimmick stuff and everything, which was cool. But you paid a cover price and all the arcade games were on free play. So you could just park yourself at an arcade game and just go. And they had the Star Wars arcade game where you can actually do the lightsaber battle with Darth Vader. So, yeah, I actually do genuinely miss Disney Quest. I thought
Disney
it was a cool
Quest
concept.
great.
So we have a cool thing here that it's called the Works at Why I'm Missing, and it's like a large arcade. It's got a bar and a restaurant. Like it does cater to kids because it's got a go-kart track and everything, but you could just have fun in there, and they've got some really cool stuff. They have a giant Space Invaders where like you sit behind the wheel of this machine gun and just blast the stuff as they come down. So cool stuff like that. But Disney Quest, I think, was a really cool concept, and I think it was just an unfortunate victim of it was just too. I think it was just too expensive to maintain, pretty much, right?
I think so. I think it was
down to
why pay a cover? Like the whole point of going to Downtown Disney or Disney Springs was that it was free. And now there's a place in Disney Springs that actually charges a cover price.
Yeah. I mean, granted, a lot of the old adult clubs did too, but this one, yeah.
Okay. So Anna,
I was watching the wheels turn in your head to try to figure out where you were going with this.
I was just like Frozen. Oh man, that song.
Because we were working there when this movie came out, and we were working there when you could meet the princesses, and they had a 4-hour wait.
Oh, you're talking about the ones over. You know what this brought memories back to me was the Frozen sing along at studios. But yes, now that you mention it, that fucking 4-hour wait was kind of ridiculous because I feel like they didn't even do anything. They didn't overlay that ride.
No.
The boat ride, the Norway boat ride, they just kind of tossed the fucking princesses there.
They just kind of frozened it. And that was such a mistake because I love that ride.
Yeah.
So what people need to understand is that in 2013, when this movie came out, we were all working at these parks, and you couldn't escape Frozen. It was incredible how much
it was everywhere.
It was
they
everywhere.
Milked it for every fucking penny.
And when you could meet Anna and Elsa right here in Epcot, where we were, they did have a legitimate 4-hour wait to meet them, and there were some pissed off people in that line.
But they waited.
But they waited. So my hearts go out to those poor character actors. But, I mean...
Yeah. At first I was just like, I wasn't really sure what you were like going for with this picture. I'm just like, is it somebody I dated? I have no idea what's going on right now. It's like...
Was it that bad?
Well, because I'm not gonna lie, Elsa looks like someone I dated, and I was about to be like, "How the fuck did you like no?" First off, and then find a picture.
I interviewed people and did a focus group and an unofficial survey.
I was like, "Did this just turn into Hot Ones?"
No,
like
not now.
Should we do wings?
Would you like it to? Go order some wings. We can turn this into something.
Oh man, that was okay. Next photo.
All right, you done with Anna and Elsa?
Yeah.
All right.
Piggy Bank Adventure.
Piggy Bank Adventure.
So the Piggy Bank Adventure is just full of lies. It's just full of fucking lies.
We're gonna teach your kids how to manage your money. No, we're not. We're not gonna teach them shit. Not.
Here's the key thing to get away with this, right? Diversification is good to a point. Because you don't want to spread out too thinly.
Mm-hmm. But you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket.
Correct. Unless you're playing this game. In which case, you need to pick the right basket and then move that shit over so the wolf doesn't take your shit. And you can learn his patterns because it's not random. But I digress. That was pretty much it. And it's just like you save money for student... you can save your money and then go to college for free. And I laughed and laughed. And
what a lie. No, what an American lie.
What
a lie. Why do you sit on a throne of lies? This was probably one of the most fun rides. Well, I can't say ride. It was a little game thing. It was one of the most fun games to work if you had the right crew. Because there were times when I would work with people like Katie and Nolan at the same time. Shoutouts to them, by the way. And we had a blast. We had so much fun working it. But if you had the wrong people there, it was tedious. Because then you were doing their job on top of yours. And this should have been one of the easiest, most fun things to work.
It was there's not much to it. You just guide the people to the next location. And that's it. That's really all you're doing.
Yeah, but, And then everybody wanted to take the piggy banks home, and we couldn't let that happen.
It really does surprise me that they never fucking sold it. Like, they never sold, like, a fake piggy.
They did, whatever the bank was that sponsored it. I don't remember now which bank
T. Rowe Price.
Thank you, yeah.
Actually, it's a photo.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
signed by T. Rowe Price.
Oh God, I wouldn't even look at that. Yeah, so I know that they did sell like a piggy bank version of the actual pig on their website because we have one because I bought one. But yeah, no, they should have done that at the park. I said that all the time, and that was a big feedback thing I got from guests. They're like, if you sold these piggy banks, you'd make a killing, right? I'm like, I know that. Eric knows that.
We know that. Yes.
Believe me, we're well aware of the fact that your kid wants to take this piggy bank home. And there were families that would like fight with you. They're like, why can't they? And then you have to like give the other kid a piggy bank to hold.
Yeah.
God, it was just, yeah. If you had the right crew, it was fun, but yeah.
Yeah. Dole Whip.
Dole
The
Whip.
best. The best, like, dessert
Dude,
in the parks.
and I will fight.
Period.
I will fight people who try to tell me that Dole Whip is not good. Like, you're asking for a fight. So, guys,
It's worth the Disney ticket. It's worth the Magic Kingdom ticket just to get Dole Whip.
I wouldn't say Magic Kingdom ticket,
No.
but I don't know if I'd go that far. But
Listen,
you can get it at the Polynesian.
yes, if you're really desperate, just go to the
Go to
Polynesian and get Dole Whip.
So I don't know who came up with the idea to have pineapple flavored soft serve ice cream and put it in pineapple juice, but whoever you are, you're not. I hope you got a patent for that or something, because yeah,
You get a free pass.
It's the best snack. It really is. Like I remember going for the Christmas party when it actually gets like cold, not just Florida cold, but like actual cold, and I'm like, I need my Dole Whip. It's like, it's 40 degrees out. I'm like, I don't care. I want my Dole Whip.
Dole Whip is just amazing.
Yes.
Even during the summer, but you just have to eat it faster in the summer because it just melts.
By the way, I very much appreciate the artistic photograph here, and I'm not like, I don't know whose photo this is, so I don't know who to credit, but whoever took this photo, like, that's just a great picture.
Yeah.
And that's not even Disney World either. That's actually Disneyland in California. But yes. But Dole Whip.
Dole Whip. Fuck those. I know where this is at. This is
yeah, you do.
The ECV rental place at the studios.
Yep.
And yeah, I do like their getup because they do park them just like this because they make them look like little like you're getting gas or whatever. But I fucking hate ECVs. So, funny thing, if you're ever in a Disney park and you're really pissed off at somebody, you see where that blue tag is? It looks like a little license plate on the back of the ECVs. To the right of that, there's a lever, right? You put your foot underneath there and kick up, you'll disengage that fucking ECV and it won't move until somebody fucking re-engages it. You're welcome. Do that do whatever with that information. Enjoy that.
Oh my. How many times did you get hit or ran over by an ECV?
Too many to count.
Yeah, too many to count, exactly. Because here's the thing. Here's what a lot of people need to remember. When guests would rent wheelchairs at these parks, those were generally for people who actually needed them. These were for the people who... I'm not saying that not everybody needed them, because I've definitely seen people come up to me in an ECV with, like, their entire leg in a cast. But they were never the problem. In the nicest way I can possibly word this... This is the nicest way I can possibly word this. These were primarily used by people who clearly didn't do a lot of walking.
They resembled the people from WALL-E.
Okay. Is that the nicest way we could possibly word this?
That is the nicest way we could possibly.
And where did you have all the issues? With those guests. Every time.
They always wanted to go through the fucking fast pass. Every fucking time.
And they couldn't. Do you have a fast pass? No. But I'm handicapped. Well, fantastic. This is Animal Kingdom, and we're ADA accessible because we were built in 1998, so you get your ass into the regular line.
They're like, oh, I'm being treated unfairly. Like, no, you're treated
fairly. Very fairly. Get your ass in line. Yes, good old ECVs. Well, Eric, we're gonna go. Oh wait, I'm not done with you yet.
Move on from that. No! I fucking knew it. I had a feeling he was going to be
You knew it was going to be in there. You knew it.
As soon as I saw the ECVs, I'm like, this motherfucker.
You knew what I was doing.
Yeah. You know where this is at? Because I can tell you where this is at, too.
I know where this is at.
This is also at the studios. That's the Art of Animation building.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it looks exactly like that.
That's a nightmare parking lot is what that is. That's a nightmare.
It really is. And that's not even a lot. That's
the sad part. That's not a lot of strollers. Like, people do not understand that that's actually not a lot of strollers. That's actually a fair amount of strollers.
Yeah, that's a fair amount of strollers, and it looks very nice. Whoever is on stroller detail, it did a great job. Did you ever play TBFS? No, what was that?
Too big for stroller, where you and other cast members would point out kids that were too big to be in strollers.
Oh, I guess I did, but
That was
like
the
I
best
didn't know
game.
that's what it was called.
That was well, I called it that, but yeah, no, that was a great game to play to see if the kid was too big to be riding in the stroller, and a lot of them were.
Yeah, I feel like if your knees start to bend, you're too big for the stroller.
I get granted some kids are tall,
Yeah,
but I think this was just strollers.
you get
I always said were like unless the kid was actually like an infant or too young to really be mobile. I always felt like strollers were more trouble than they were actually worth because like I get it, you're gonna put the kid down so you don't have to carry them all day, but I always felt like the stroller causes more issues than just like if you just put on like the strap backpacks and just put the kid in the strap. I always felt like that was going to be an easier way of going about doing this because you can't bring strollers in anywhere. You have to park them, and you have to park them in the right spot, and if you don't, we're going to move them, and then you're going to come out and you're going to get upset.
yeah. You're like, why'd you touch my stroller? And I'm like, well, we told you to fucking where to put it, and you didn't do that. So
And which stroller was the worst, Eric? And why was it the Winnie the Pooh strollers that people would buy at Walmart?
Because they would fucking fall apart the moment you looked at them.
And they'd also get stolen all the time.
They do. Well, because they all look the same.
And there's nothing.
And they don't. There's no identifying marks. They don't put their names on it, and they're just like, "Oh, my stroller got stolen," and I'm just like, "What did it look like?" It had Winnie the Pooh on it, and you're like, "Motherfucker!" That's like, look at the sea of Winnie the Pooh stroller. It didn't get stolen. It got taken by accident because it blended in with the other fucking strollers.
Okay, your stroller got stolen. Okay, what was in the stroller that could identify it as yours? Well, nothing. We took everything with us. Okay, fantastic. Guess what I can't do for you now?
Correct.
This is now loss prevention's problem. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, and we'd call security. And you know what? I did security for a little bit. You want to know what we did? We wrote down the description. We filed a little log in our system saying, like, this person, missing stroller, and we put the generic description, which we had copy-pasted. I believe it was on a fucking Google Drive, basically.
Because it probably was, because you do it so many times.
It's just copy-paste. There we go. That was the report.
Dude, I don't know if you can see any in this picture here. Yeah, I got the second monitor. That's why I'm looking over here. Remember those strollers that had like the giant Jeep tires on them? Those things were tanks.
Oh, God, yeah.
You could fit like 4 kids in them.
Did I tell you the time that somebody brought in an electric one? It was powered.
An electric stroller, okay.
Yeah, an electric stroller. And I was just like, they had their cooler, which I don't know how they got that in the fucking park, but I digress. They had their cooler underneath it.
Somebody at the front gate didn't care that day. Some CP was hungover and didn't care that day.
And then on underneath it, I saw like another pack, and I was just like, I wasn't really sure what that was. And then I realized it was a battery, and I'm just like, those tires are fucking huge. It wasn't that they were huge, is that they were hub motors. And I'm just like, this thing is fucking electrified. He brought in a goddamn go-kart with a fucking cooler in it. And I'm just like, this is fucking wild. So if you have a child that is so heavy that you can no longer push the stroller and you need to electrify it, then you do not deserve the like, stop feeding that fucking kid.
You might be a Cartman at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was actually about to ask you, what's the purpose of an electric stroller? It's not like the kid can drive it.
Now, yeah, that's true. Now, I did notice that that wasn't the first electric stroller that I've seen, but the other ones make more sense because they were single strollers, they were electrified, and at first I was like, huh, and then I realized that it was like for a kid who was disabled, and I was just like, right. Okay.
That makes a little more sense, though.
Yeah, so that makes a little bit more sense. So, but like this one, no, it was like one of the doubles. It was like a double park stroller, basically, with thicker wheels, and I'm just like, that no. You got an electrified one, so you could probably plug in that fucking cooler.
keep your
Probably
stuff
electric
cool.
cooler.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah, I
That's the
know.
thing. Like that's like I can't really shit on that
It's
idea.
fucking
That's actually
brilliant.
not bad. Like it should never have happened. That's the point we're stressing here. But
Right.
whatever.
Oh,
Not my problem.
and the squirrels that would like rob people.
Oh,
They go
watching
in.
squirrels rob your stroller while it's sitting there and all the popcorn that you left behind was the funniest thing. I would see that all the time. You'd see the squirrels pop up. They'd start ripping at, because people would always leave snacks in the strollers, and the squirrels would get them.
And fucking run off with it.
Just watch the squirrel run away with the whole bag of chips. I was like, well,
don't feed the wildlife.
I have a really quick stroller story. When I did my assessment at Safari, one of the things you have to learn how to do is do a full transfer with a guest in a wheelchair, right? And I'd done that during training. I knew how to strap in a wheelchair onto a truck. And during my assessment, it's actually the last thing I had to do that day, because I passed all the other land positions, and I'd also passed my Safari truck assessment, right? Last position we're doing is the ADA dock, Departure 3, they called it, where we would...
Now, when you say strap a wheelchair, you don't mean like strap it and drag it around on the back.
Well, of course, that's exactly what I mean. And then you watch the rhinos have a fun time with it. Could you imagine if that was the thing?
I'd pay extra for that.
You know what? Screw it. I'd ride in the wheelchair at that point. Why not? So, because yeah, some people couldn't get out of their wheelchairs, so we had the certain trucks that you could strap the wheelchair in on the truck, and they could still enjoy the safari. And I'd done practice on a couple of wheelchairs, but I'd never done a stroller before. So my trainer goes, "All right, have you done the stroller before?" I'm like, "No, I didn't get a chance to during training." "All right, well, you got one coming up. Oh, and by the way, there's a monkey in it." Come again? I don't think I heard you properly. There's a what? "Yeah, there's a monkey in the stroller." So here comes this lady pushing a stroller with a monkey in it. It was a helper monkey. And the monkey was trained to detect if she was going to have a seizure and would give her medicine before the seizure happened. Also, the monkey was wearing a skirt. That's prevalent to the story. So the last thing I did before I earned my ears at Kilimanjaro Safari, because that was the last thing I did before we got bumped out of the position, was I strapped in a monkey on a stroller on a safari truck and sent it on its way.
I think it's wild that you put a monkey to go
on a safari. I love that story.
That's fucking crazy.
That's not as good as apparently the helper donkey that used to show up at Universal that I never got to see. You know about that, don't you?
Yeah, because he goes to Disney too, or at least did. I think
I
now
never
it's
saw the
dogs.
donkey. I never saw the donkey.
You never saw the donkey?
Never saw it. I heard about the donkey. I knew it existed. I knew there was a helper ass, but I never saw it. So
there's a donkey and a pony. There was a pony too.
Yeah, I think I had heard about the pony, but never got to see those. No.
Yeah, no, the pony one showed up a lot during Super Soap weekends when we still did that at studios.
Oh, geez. Well, are we done with strollers now? You want me to move on from this? Okay.
You sure? I never wanted you to show me the fucking strollers.
Well, you sure you don't? You want me to zoom in? Actually, I can zoom in, make the picture bigger.
No,
okay.
no.
All right, you're good. You're good. All right.
Yeah. So tour groups.
Are you sure you don't want me to go back to the strollers?
You know what? I'd still prefer tour groups than strollers.
Can we please educate the folks about tour groups?
So there's actually quite a few different groups, right? And believe it or not, they're not all like country related. So it's not like Argentina and Brazil. Now they do have tour groups, but you also have dancers and cheerleaders as tour groups, and you cannot call a dancer a cheerleader, and you can't call a cheerleader a dancer, and I don't know what the difference is.
Well, the moms will tell you.
So yeah,
in between, in between swear words, they will get that description out.
And I just stay away. Just stay away. They chant. They're very loud.
Mm-hmm.
They have these fucking giant ass flags.
They all wear the same color shirt.
They all wear the same color shirt. Some of them. Well, They all wear the same colors.
Yeah. Like in this one, you can tell that there's like white and yellow and just but you know who they are. You know they're
Right.
part of that group.
And I mean, if you're lucky, they're still wearing clothes.
Yes, which would be very uncomfortable when you realize half of them are 15 and 16 years old.
Yeah.
It's not good if you are one of those types of people, and without saying names, but we knew a couple. I won't say their names, but
you know what? I swear to God, this happened to me once. I was at the Caribbean Beach Resort. Yeah, it wasn't Coronado Springs. It was the one that was off of, I think it was really close to the studio's exit.
I'm not that good on my resort geography, so I can't really help you with this. Somebody will say it in the comments.
Now, I did security overnight at this resort, and the pools closed at 10 o'clock, and we got a call saying, like, hey, there's some people skinny dipping, and over the radio, I was just like, okay, females? Yep. And I'm just like, are they underage? They're like, yep. I'm like, oh, well, I'm not going. Just not fucking doing it.
Not a bad idea, actually.
No, I'm just like, if they drown, they drown. I don't know what to fucking tell you.
If he dies, he dies. If he dies, he dies. Yeah. Oh man,
I care about your safety, but I care about my job.
You know what my favorite thing about these tour groups are, right? They'd all ask for the front row.
All of them.
There's 112 of us. Front row, please. All right.
I can only fit 2 in the front row at a time.
You guys are going to be here for 2 hours, but okay. That's why I liked when I would work the Beetlejuice show, and they show up, they go, can we have the front row? I'm like, nope. It's free for all seating. You just walk in.
Yep, just go. You get what you get.
Just go, yes. Tour group season generally happens in summer, but you can run into them year-round, so just be wary. You're more likely to run into them in summer, but be careful.
Spring, summer, and fall.
Yeah. Just be wary, and they will annoy you.
Now, it's a small world.
You know what story I want you to tell, right?
Yes, I do.
I know you do. Everybody turn out your lights. Watch this in the dark.
While training and going through It's a Small World, we give details on the attraction, or little facts, little nit things, right?
Now, this ride's already kind of scary enough because it's a lot of creepy dolls.
A lot of creepy dolls. And my trainer was just like, so here's a neat little fact. Every once in a while, cosmetology will have to come in and trim the hair on the dolls because it grows.
Can you repeat that? The what now?
Oh yeah.
Wait.
I'll repeat it.
The what on the what does what?
The hair on the dolls grow.
Tell me that's not a horror movie in the making.
And I was like, the fuck you mean? They grow.
The what? Yeah, I know.
I do not want to work here anymore.
Haven't you also seen the dolls backstage with their faces off and everything?
Yes. Fucking terrifying. Not as terrifying as a fully dressed up doll ready to go out, but doesn't have eyes. That one got me the most because it looks so normal, and you're like, "Oh, this is It's just like a thing of nightmares." You're like, "No, thank you."
No eyes.
Now, I will say, the reason cosmetology has to go in and trim the hair on the dolls is because it does grow. It expands because it absorbs the moisture from the humidity and the water that is the boat ride around it.
That you don't want to touch.
Correct. At a certain point, once it expands to its fullest and it no longer looks like fluffy and nice, they do replace it. But they don't tell you that. That's just how they explain it to you. They're just like, oh yeah, the hair on the dolls grow. And I'm just like, oh cool. I don't want to be here. Let's go.
And that's how I noped out of the park.
Yeah.
You know, I specifically put that picture in for that story, right?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I figured.
Okay, you knew.
Yeah.
You knew what I was doing here.
Oh yes. Hey Chris, are you Chris from Orlando, Florida?
I was at one point.
Oh, I was also Chris from Orlando, Florida.
You were also
Funny story.
You were also Chris from Vernon, New Jersey for a day.
I was. So the funny thing about Chris from Orlando, Florida is because, or the funny thing about the Chris from Orlando, Florida name tag is that anybody can wear it. Anyone could be Chris from Orlando, Florida.
Correct.
Because it is the most generic location because you are in Orlando currently. And Chris is what is it called?
Gender neutral.
Gender neutral. It's
Right.
a gender neutral name.
Because it can stand for Christopher, Christian, Christoph, but it could also be Christine, Christina, Christy. So
Yes.
So yeah, anybody could wear it. So every attraction had a Chris from Orlando name tag to give out to you because you couldn't go out without a name tag on. You couldn't do it. So you had to have something. So you would be Chris from Orlando, Florida for the day, which didn't bother me. I didn't mind wearing it if I forgot my name tag. But
it didn't bother me either.
Yeah, because you probably did stuff, and then when they complained that it was Chris from Orlando, Florida, they were like, well, that doesn't help.
Yep. If you're at guest relations and you're the person taking in complaints and they're just like, oh, what was this cast member's name? And they're like, Chris from Orlando, Florida. Well, there's nothing they can do about it.
Mm-hmm. Imagine if you're actually Chris from Orlando, Florida.
Yeah. I mean, that might screw you over. But the funny thing is, right, like, unless the manager knew that you picked up a temporary name tag, if they got a complaint saying that Chris from Orlando, Florida, they would literally have to just walk around and see who's wearing it.
Yeah, pretty much.
And yeah, that's the only fucking way. And let me tell you how many times that happened. Fucking zero. Because the managers aren't going out there. They're just not. They got better things to do, like eat good lunch.
Remember that day you forgot your name tag and I gave you my spare because I always carried a backup with me because I had the one that had like my trainer pin and my 1-year pin, and then I just had a backup in case I left that one at home. Yeah. And I always had that in my bag because I always brought my bag with me. And you're like, I forgot my name tag. And I'm like, all right. I said, but before I give this to you, I don't want you to do anything bad.
And I responded with, I wouldn't do anything that you wouldn't do.
That was fair. That was fair. And that was fair. No further comments are necessary there.
Oh, food and wine. I love food and wine.
It's the best.
It really is. It's so for those of you that don't know, they actually bring in extra countries and they put them in. And it's basically you get to taste like whatever their like traditional dish would be or dessert.
They would have a couple of traditional dishes you could try and then some traditional drinks associated with that country. So real quick to set the scene for people who don't know Epcot, World Showcase features 11 countries, 10 of them being foreign because one of them is actually America. And I'm going to try to do this by memory. It's been a while, so I hope I'm not wrong. But the countries were Mexico, and you always start in Mexico. That's like the right way to do it.
You don't want to end on tequila. That's fucked up.
No, of course not. It was Mexico, then it was Norway. Mm-hmm. After Norway was China. Mm-hmm. And then after China was Germany, right? Was it Germany, Italy, and then America? Or...
Yes, I think so.
Okay. Germany, Italy, America. I might be out of order now, but then you also had Japan, Morocco.
That's what that was next. Oh, no, it was Morocco. I thought Morocco was on the other side.
Morocco, on the other side of America. I'm on the other side of America. Yeah, it was Japan, Morocco, then, and this one I know, France, United Kingdom, and then China.
No, you already mentioned China.
Oh, Canada.
Canada.
Sorry, Canada. My bad.
Second China.
Second China. Yes, Canada.
Canada.
Where you could get the cheddar cheese soup.
It was always good. I loved going to Canada.
And I don't think I missed any countries. If I did, I apologize. But during Food and Wine, they'd add all these other nations. So now that you would have Brazil, Belgium. So you could get empanadas. You could get a Belgian waffle. And then they'd have all kinds of native beers, native wines, and other stuff you could try. And I think it was usually like every station had kind of like a main dish, a snack dish, and like a dessert, right? In a way?
Yeah.
It was kind of based like that.
It was one traditional dish that they would have for celebrating whatever. A snack,
Yeah.
a dessert, and then a drink.
Right.
Or 2 drinks.
Or 2, yeah, depending on like the German station and a lot of those countries would have like the beer runners where you could get the 3 different beers and you're supposed to drink them in order because it enhances the taste of the next one. So you could get incredibly drunk and incredibly fat very fast and be very happy at Food and Wine Festival.
And you can do this by preloading a Food and Wine Festival like purchase plan type thing, where you get tickets and then you would just trade in the tickets or whatever it was.
Yeah, you could load it with money. You could be like, I'm gonna take this card, and you put like $50 on it, and then you could just run around and swipe your card everywhere. Man, I love Food and Wine Festival because so much good stuff there. You have a visitor. Hi, welcome to YouTube. I don't have anything on in the room right now. They're somewhere. No idea where.
Just crawled up on my lap, so I figured, okay.
Of course, you can put your cats on YouTube. We're good with that. But yes, Food and Wine Festival, great time, and it happens in the fall. So, and they have concerts and stuff.
And then they got like a flower and garden, which is kind of like
that's just make my allergies go haywire season. So
yeah,
give me my food and wine. There. Well, also my birthday's in the fall, so happy birthday. Here's food and wine. Like, I can't go wrong with that, right?
Correct. Oh, plus dessert wine.
Oh, yes.
Ice wine.
Yes,
ice wine is the shit.
Yes.
If you ever get a chance to get ice wine,
oh man,
do it.
The last picture. We've come to the end. I saved the best for last.
This is you're done. Log out, go home. And I can't remember the last time I saw this.
And you know what? Based on the date, I bet a CP took this picture. Because look when the date is, January 2nd. That's when the college programs were ending.
Yeah.
Because we would work through New Year's and then we were done the next day.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So, for people who don't know, you would sign in and sign out on a computer system. It was called CDS, the Cast Deployment System. And when you clocked out for the day, that was the screen that you saw. So that was the happiest screen you would see. And Eric and I would sometimes compete to see that screen at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, wouldn't we?
Oh, yeah. Just to go fucking home?
Just to go home. To get your early release, your ER, and get out of there. I like that you keep disappearing on camera.
Well, the cats keep doing weird things.
Well, that's cats for you. But yes, so I wanted to make that the very last photo for your slideshow, Eric.
That was such a good slideshow.
Did you
like that?
Did you have fun with that?
Yeah, I did.
Good.
Brought back a lot of memories.
So I have a lot of ideas for fun themes that like other stuff I can show you, like based on video games and superheroes and D&D and stuff like that. But for the first one, I wanted to do something more catered to you. And I was like, I know if I can get Eric to reflect back on some of these Disney memories. I'm like, what is Eric going to react to the best? I'm like, strollers, ECVs, Small World. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the good stuff.
This is like a park hopper episode of this version of the show.
There you go. Yeah, well, I might even title it that way. So, yeah, thank you guys for tuning in on on our wonderful little YouTube channel here, and do the thing where you hit the subscribe button and ring the bell, and every time we post more stuff like this, you get to see it. And if you want to be on 20 Pictures, if you're a friend of mine and you want to react to stuff, grab your webcam or come sit like right here with me in person, and I'll make a slideshow catered to you, and you can react to everything just like Eric did. And check out the other great playlists featuring our partner Dan Peck, Jeff Trelowitz, my wife Shannon did one, and a bunch of others. So check out the whole playlist. Thank y'all. And I'm going to end this video here on a high note. Eric, do you have anything else you'd like to say before I...
Be excellent to one another.
I like that. We'll see you guys.